Hi, welcome to Retail Business Unit 2, your exam unit. You've got one exam and 3 units. Unit 1 is coursework, Unit 2 is the exam, and Unit 3 is coursework again. It's a double unit. You get to sit the exam in June, so there's a sitting of it in Year 10 in the summer, and there's a potential retake if needed in the summer of Year 11. Those are the only exam windows. So we're going to look at some of the exam work, as coursework has to be done under controlled conditions. When you see the Superboy, get it, supermarket, and superstores, then that's where you can actually click for help. Lesson 1. To know different retail categories, because there's lots of types of different shops and places you go, retail parks and different types of businesses out there. 2, to describe retail features which enhance customer experience, because believe me, it's quite a big science. 3, to be able to design and consider what makes an effective retailer. Now there's key vocabulary for you to take note of: footfall, evaluate, conversion, revenue, transaction, and a data capture sheet. And there's jobs that this can all lead to as well, which you can see at the bottom. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe different categories of retailers, describe advantages and disadvantages of visual merchandising and retail, and justify your own retail design. Have a read of the slide. You'll see that its stores are shops or online shops. So you need to read this for you to get an idea of what we're about to talk about. Here's your first task. For each retailer shown in these 5 pictures, you need to identify the types of products that they sell. Obviously, we're not going into these shops, so we're now going to use our online research ability. Why do you think many retailers only sell the same type of product? You need to think about it and you can have your opinion on this. What are the advantages and disadvantages of selling many different types of products in one shop? So the good and bad points of selling more than one product. You can come up with your opinion. And the 4th question, what is a department store? Give some examples. Now you might need to do some research on a department store. Think of ones in Telford. All your answers to questions 1 to 4 can go on the next slide, where you'll see that the images are there and you can do mind maps and arrows to show all your answers. Remember, this is where you write all your answers. So use the 5 images and the department store star shapes for you to do your investigation and to write your answers as mind maps. Here's your first piece of investigation where you don't necessarily have to use a computer. Question 1. Produce a data capture sheet that allows you to collect the names of shops and the products that they sell. Aim to collect the data on at least 10 shops. A data capture sheet basically means get a piece of paper, write down some names of shops and go and create a tally sheet of what they sell and how many of the shops sell the same things. So you're going to have to, like number 2 says, go online browsing. Number 3, using your data capture sheet, record the information on which products they sell. You're trying to find out who sells similar products. Number 4, put your shops into different categories, for example, food, bargains, electrical, clothes, or whatever you can find. And number 5, produce a graph to show the different categories of shops. Here's an example for you. That's what you're aiming towards at the end. So physical shops. Physical shops come in many different sizes, shapes and design. However, they all tend to have the same main facilities, features and services within the shop. You've probably noticed. For example, they will all have pay facility, display, signage and, if needed, changing rooms. I'm sure you've spotted. Displays of products are very important for some customers, and physical stores can attract many customers by having the products they sell on display. Displaying products allows customers to hold them or test them out before they buy. Here's your next task. Question 1. Consider the retailers in the above images. Explain the importance of displaying products. So you've got Foot Asylum, DFS, the Sofa Experts, and Hotel Chocolat, which is a British store even though it's got a French name. Number 2, What are the disadvantages of displaying products for these retailers? Number 3, can you think of other facilities, features or services that most physical shops will have? Things like changing rooms, things like lifts, those are the types of things. You need to write your answers on the actual slide where it says type your response here. It is easy to think that most physical shops are owned and run by large-scale, national or international well-known retail brands. However, this is not the case. There are many small-scale independent retail shops that are owned by one person or are small businesses. Large-scale retailers will have many shops around the country or even the world. For example, Apple has opened 506 retail stores across 25 countries, with 38 stores in the UK. Like most large-scale retailers, all Apple stores will follow a similar store layout and theme and sell the same products. Have a look at the pictures. There's the China one and the Manchester one. Can you spot a branding and a familiarity in the two shops? Here's your next task. Using the internet, find out how many stores or branches, there's the keyword you need to use in your Google search, find out how many stores there are in the UK only for the following supermarkets: Aldi, Asda, Co-op, Lidl, Morrisons, Sainsbury's and Tesco's. So just put it into Google or the internet and find out how many stores or branches. Question 2. Explain why retailers such as Apple and the supermarkets listed above design their stores in the same way. If you're not sure that they do look the same, go and do some research on the internet and have a look at, say, a store in Telford, a store in Shrewsbury, a store in Birmingham or Dudley. Number 3. Why would shoppers prefer to shop in a large-scale, well-known restore? Now this question requires your opinion. Despite the large presence of these large-scale retailers, small-scale retailers can also be successful, and there are many thousands of them across the UK. However, in recent years, many independent retailers are finding it difficult to make a profit, and although many new shops have opened, many have also closed. Increasing costs such as rent and wage increases, along with the growth of online retailing, are major contributors to the closure of many shops. Although this is also true for some large-scale retailers, particularly if you look around the high street as of today. Despite this, many independent retailers are doing well. Many shoppers enjoy buying their products from local businesses who often offer a more personal touch and good customer service and sell products different from the branded products most large-scale retailers tend to sell. These are usually places like the local sweet shop, the local butcher, all those local kind of services. Here's your next investigation. Number 1, select a local area, maybe your local high street or an area where there are many shops. Or in the situation we have at the moment, think of an area where you know they also have websites as well. Design a data capture sheet. Remember, that's just a posh phrase for, say, a tally or a list and then you some counts. Design a data capture sheet that allows you to record the name of the shop, the products they sell, whether the shop is a small scale or a large scale business, and a space to allow you to note some observations about the shop, like what's in the window, if you can remember, or what's on the homepage. Who have you seen go in there, if you can remember, what products they have on offers and so on, which you can see on their homepage. Number 3, carry out this research and record your findings. Number 4, produce a chart to illustrate your findings and write a brief report on what you found out. Remember, your report should include your observations. Number 5, describe the main differences you observed between the small scale or large scale retailers. Things like what products they have, the offers, the changing rooms, the types of tills, all these things which will draw on your memory as well as what you can find online. Here's your third investigation. Number 1, you have decided to open a retail shop in your own local area. You only have enough money to open one shop, so you will be a small scale retailer. Number 2, decide on what you will sell in your shop. Number 3, think of a name that will help you attract customers and gives a clue as to what you will sell. Remember, you have to present this back in your class. Number 4, on A3 paper, or use a computer or any paper you can find, just as long as it's big enough, design the shop layout. Best to do this from a bird's eye view, as if it's from the ceiling looking down. Make sure you not only include the display of the products you will sell, but also the other facilities and features your customers will expect. Number 5, on the same sheet, write down who will be your main competitors, and for extra points write down why. And the last question, describe how you will try to compete with these and attract customers to your shop. Two figures are important for physical stores: sales revenue and footfall. Click on the links to listen to what each of those mean. Sales revenue is the income made from selling products. It includes the cash taken at the till and also the money taken from customers' credit cards. A retailer, like all businesses, must calculate its sales revenue as part of its financial accounts. Sales revenue is calculated by multiplying the amount sold by the price the customer paid. Sales revenue is different from profit. To calculate the profit, the costs of the business are subtracted from the sales revenue. A retailer can have a large amount of sales revenue, but if costs are higher, then it will make a loss. Footfall. Footfall is the measurement of the number of people entering a shop. It is also known as people counting. It is measured over a period of time and can also refer to a high street or shopping centre. Footfall is an important indicator of how successfully a retailer is able to attract customers to its stores, and can be influenced by marketing activities like advertising and sales promotion, the popularity of the brand sold in the store, and the design of the store. However, footfall on its own does not mean sales, so it is important that footfall is converted into sales revenue. Many retailers can struggle to turn footfall into sales revenue. Just because a retailer has high footfall does not mean they have high sales revenue. Many retailers will record how many people enter their stores, usually an electronic sensor positioned near the door. Ever heard it bing when you open the door? Over a period of time, and then using their sales revenue data, the amount of money the retailer takes at the till, they calculate the percentage of sales to footfall. High footfall will mean the store is attracting plenty of customers, but a low conversion rate will indicate that the store or the staff are not doing a good job of maximising sales opportunities. If there is a low conversion rate, then they can try to work out why shoppers are entering their store but not buying anything. Retailers will be keen to turn visitors to their store into buyers. Your final task. The table below shows data for 3 months for a local independent butcher. An average transaction value, which means how much was spent on average per customer, has been used, as the butcher will sell lots of different types of products for different prices. So this is used to make life easier. That's the £7. This will stay the same throughout the 3 months. Here are your questions. Question 1. How was the sales revenue, the line outlined in red, how was the sales revenue calculated? Look at the number of transactions, 1,000. Look at the £7, which is the value per transaction per customer. 1,000 something 7 equals £7,000. The answer is 1,000 transactions multiplied by £7 equals £7,000. Question 2. How was the conversion rate calculated? The conversion rate is outlined in green. The conversion rate means if you've got 5,000 customers coming into the shop, how many did you manage to convert into a sale? How the conversion rate was calculated. So the figures you need to look at are the number of transactions. January is 1,000, February is 1,200, March is 1,500. Let's just deal with February, 1,200. And then you also look at the footfall. The footfall is 5,000 in January, 5,000 in February, and 7,000 in March. So nice and easy figures, relatively, especially if you've got a calculator. So then you divide the number of transactions, which is 1,200, and you divide it into 5,000, the footfall, and the answer is 0.24. And to turn it into a percentage, you multiply it by 100 and it gives you the 24%. Question 3. Evaluate, look at the good and bad points. Evaluate the performance of the butcher's shop over the 3 months. Firstly, by sales revenue. So you're looking at how he's done in January, £7,000. In February, £8,400, and in March, £10,500. So you need to say what's good and what's bad about that. And point B, looking at the sales revenue and the conversion rate. So you need to look at the two figures. So you need to look at January's £7,000 and 20%. And you need to do that across the 3 months. Question 4. Give 2 possible reasons for the performance of the butcher shop over these 3 months. So this one is your opinion, but it's your opinion based on your answers for question 3. You've made an opinion based on how the butchers have done in terms of sales revenue. You've made an opinion based on how you think the butcher's done when you look at sales revenue and conversion rate. So now you're going to put the two things together and come up with your conclusion.